The paradigm of the system has always been such that it's always hinged around artificially induced volatility, which is creating the economic instability, which allows them to benefit at the detriment of you, of course. It's always that way. The fluctuations of the stock market, real estate, the economy, now we're moving into stagflation. This is all done by design, by the way. And then you have pre-orchestrated chaos, which is, of course, everything on TikTok, YouTube, social media, the news. It's all been laid out in advance. The war in Israel is all planned out. It's been going on for centuries. And then if you attempt to address the situation, they hit you with plausible deniability. And if that doesn't work, then they'll hit you with cognitive dissonance. And then you have, on the other hand, the universe that tells you that you're in charge of your reality. You're the master of your own destiny. But then when you attempt to do something, you're blocked by unseen forces. And then you're expected to be happy. And then you're told to wait on the divine plan instead of your own, which leaves you confused. So this is what really leaves a lot of people very disenchanted, disillusioned, disconnected, and just, discouraged. Because they turn to the system and they're just going to get more of the same. And then they look to the universe and it's a very confusing set of rules. You're told that, you're in charge of the manifestation process. But then when you go ahead and try to do something, it makes no sense that you're blocked continuously, which, just totally perplexes me. I encounter it a lot of times too. You do everything right, you're manifesting, you're vibing high, and it just seems like, there's always something happening, whether you see it or not. My point is that, whatever you're looking to accomplish, this is the reason why it always works out in your imagination, what I call my sacred space. Because there's none of this. There isn't any divine plan. There's no people in here. There's no system. There's no there's nothing. It's just whatever you desire, boom, it's there already. And you always have it as long as you need it. And then you can replace it with something else. And that's it. There's no fragility to these things. There's no terms and conditions, rules and regulations apply to any of it. It's just, just be happy and be peaceful and just, that's it. But it doesn't seem to work that way when you go outside of your sacred space, your imagination, for whatever reason. I don't know. It totally escapes me. The whole premise of this whole situation is just, I can't wrap my head around it. The reasoning and the purposes for it, I just don't understand a lot of times. I do understand that the experiences are supposed to teach you to be a specific person, to attain a specific vibration, that you become an equivalent to your desired reality. That part I get. But when you're doing all the work and you're just being blocked by unseen forces, and it just leaves you frustrated, that you just want to disconnect and just say, it takes the novelty out of it. It also takes the desire for you to have it. It takes away the attractive qualities of it. It's like you just don't want it anymore. And then all of a sudden you get it. So it's like a sick little game, really, that's being played. And, I don't appreciate my life being used as some sort of pawn in a chess game, because that's what it feels like a lot of times. And I know I'm not alone, especially these days where so many people would just like to leave the earth and not come back. And there's no doubt about that. And I address it in such a manner that I'm just calling it out for what it is. It's just an unfair bunch of nonsense that I don't ever understand it. All I see is evil people get rewarded. Criminals get let out of jail. Like a couple of years ago, I used to watch in 2020 when that whole craziness was going on. Gangs of kids were coming in, robbing grocery stores, robbing department stores, and also pharmacies, just wiping out shelves. And on camera, you could see them just snatching everything. There weren't any cops around at all. They were being rewarded for being criminals. But if somebody were to come in without a mask on, you have 60 cops jump on them as if they're trying to, blow up the world. It was just ridiculous. And then you have these good Samaritans that try to help people out in the subway, and then they're condemned for doing it. Because you're being trained and taught to be desensitized. Like, to give you an example, there's a cat food commercial by a company called Sheba, Sheba. This has been going on for about 4 years now. I noticed it. This lady sitting on the couch with this dark gray cat on her left shoulder, and she hears her daughter call out from the distance, "Mom, I fell." And she goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah." She's just totally unconcerned, apathetic, stoic, could care less, emotionless, heartless, cold, cruel, whatever. She's like, "Okay, whatever." And she says, "Mom, I'm bleeding." "Hey, well, go get a bandage, Well, they're trying to program you and condition you to be like that. Like if your child fell and your child was bleeding, you wouldn't even budge off that couch. Look it up. It's a Sheba cat commercial. Sheba. Came out about 3.5 years ago. Lady sitting on the couch with a cat on her left shoulder, dark gray cat, and she's noodling around with something in her hands, and her daughter calls out from the distance, "Mom, I fell," and she doesn't even budge. There's no facial expression, no emotion, no feelings, no concern, nothing. This is what they want you to be, folks. And then she says, "Mom, I'm bleeding." And she's like, "Yeah, well, go get a bandage from the cabinet. What do you want me to do?" And that's exactly what they want you to be. And then you have that Saturday Night Live skit where the crayons are dancing around, and there's a purple crayon that's dancing and happy, and all of a sudden from the left side, a black crayon comes out of nowhere with a taser and stuns the purple crayon in the neck and drops it and looks at the camera very cold, and the whole audience is cracking up laughing. They're trying to condition you to be this way, folks, if you haven't figured it out. This is exactly what they're trying to make you into. Cold, lifeless, cruel, heartless, dead, empty, cold vessels. That's not why you're here. I'm just bringing these things to your attention. But there's a lot of things in this world I don't understand. I don't have the answers to, because I'm just flabbergasted by these things. It's like the better of a person you are, the more you're punished. The more of a piece of garbage you are, the more you're rewarded. And that's exactly what I see. That's exactly how it is. Even with the universe. It's like the more you don't care, the more you get rewarded. The more you care, the more you block. So it's a backward, upside down, crazy, lunatic, psycho circus, insane asylum. I just don't understand it. So like I said in the previous video, the best thing that you could do is formulate your own system, or whatever works for you. If you have consistent gains on whatever your system is, then keep going. Keep modifying it along the way, as long as it works for you, and as long as nobody's getting hurt. But as far as trying to figure out this place, all bets are off. All bets are off. Because this place has been doing what it's been doing long before human beings. I mean, look at nature, man. Look at raccoons. They eat things alive. The other day I heard a raccoon up in the tree just mutilating something that was alive, screaming for its life. Just screaming bloody murder, because that's exactly what it is. So that's the universe. That's the universe that creates these creatures, that eats other creatures alive. So there's something going on that's just off the wall. That human beings are making out this to be some fluffy, nice white guy living up in the sky who's just kindness and love. It's not the case. It's things that you'll never understand. This is what human beings want it to be, but that doesn't make it so. Remember that. But anyway, have a blessed day. And I hope on some level these videos that I'm putting up are helping you in some way to clarify things, because it's not you. It's not you. It's this place. You can't make sense of insanity. You cannot bring order to chaos, because it won't allow you to do it. There are the elements of unpredictability that you just cannot control. Example, they say law of attraction, whatever happens to you, you attracted it. Well, what about September 11th? They didn't attract that. I've gone over this before. You can have the greatest day, all of a sudden just you get some, piece of garbage that slams into you or curses you out or jumps you or robs you or something. You didn't ask for that. This world is a volatile, crazy place, and you're not responsible for it. You can't control these energies. These are external energies. So don't even try to control people, let alone understand them. It's not going to work. But anyway, have a blessed day, and, like I said, just always be good, man, no matter what. Even if this whole world is bad, be good. Even if this whole world is doing wrong, do the right thing. That's what I do. And I've learned these days to just stay away from it. The older I get, the more I realize that these are dysfunctional units. A lot of them have no soul. They're probably reptilian bots or programmed drones. They don't have any human energy anymore. That's what I assess. It's almost like assessing a cell phone or a car. This like lifeless entity, like a mechanism. I could see them. I've never seen things that look human, that appear human but are not human. This is something new in the last few years, especially with Pokey Pokey. That changes you on the inside, by the way. The old pricky pricky, oh, it does. It changes you on a cellular level, big time, where you're no longer biological in the eyes of the Supreme Court. Look it up. 1994, they made the decision. Anyway, you have a great day. God bless, and I hope these videos are helping in some capacity.